Hey graphic designers, this is Mr. Granlund here. I'm going to take you through a way to do the Banksy project. So the first thing that you do in the Banksy project is you're going to start to get some ideas about a topic or a theme that you want to talk about, and you're going to write those things down, start to get those ideas on this worksheet here. Now at the same time, as you start to get something together, you're going to start to take pictures that you're going to list here and put them into your project. So my theme is about civil rights and poverty and the debates, and I'm going to use pictures of a bag lunch, someone who's homeless who's digging through the garbage, and a picture of a politician here. So I'm going to go over to Photopea, and I pasted the pictures in here, and the first thing I want to do is I want to get rid of the background of all of my pictures. You can do this through using the magic wand tool or the quick selection tool. Both of them are okay. And I'm going to start there. So I'm going to click on my picture, and then I'm going to start to select and cut things out from my picture. I'm going to come back after I've cut out the images. Now that I've got my images cut out, I'm going to adjust the scale. So in this picture, I'm trying to communicate how there's a disconnect between what politicians say and what they do, and how it actually impacts people, and how those impacts are felt or received. So here I have my politician, and I'm going to create them larger because they have maybe a larger influence in the political system and how things are decided and run, and I want them to kind of seem almost domineering and imposing. I'm going to take this bag lunch and I'm going to make this smaller, and this kind of represents how when politicians do work, their impact is oftentimes minimal. And then finally I have the people who are impacted by it down here, really kind of getting what's left over after all the talking is done. And so I'm using scale to create meaning in my picture, and I'm doing things intentionally. Now I want to actually make my picture, and I need to do a couple of things with filters and stuff. So I'm going to start by making my image black and white. So I'm going to go to Image, Adjustments, Black and White. And then I'm going to change the image to be high contrast. So it's really as close to pure black and pure white as possible. And so I'm going to use Image, Adjustments, and Curves. And in this Curves adjustment, I'm going to bring this line over here, which represents white. I'm going to bring that to the left. And then the line that represents black, I'm going to bring that to the right. So white to the left, black to the right, until I get as high contrast a picture as I can, and still be able to clearly identify what the picture is. Okay, so we can still see clearly that this is somebody who's digging through the garbage in a coat, and we can still identify it. So that looks good. I'm going to do the same thing to all these other layers. So Image, Adjustments, Curves. Bring that to the right, bring this to the left, and I forgot to do Image, Adjustments, Black and White first. Make sure you do that. So it's black and white, and then we go to Image, Adjustments, and Curves. I want to try and get it as high contrast as possible so that you can still understand what the image is. And finally, my last picture, black and white. And then image, adjustments, and curves. Bring this to the left. Bring this to the right. And it is a balancing act to try and get the correct kind of look for your picture. I really want to be able to see that podium. Alright, now there we have it. It's clear to see what's in here. We also need a background picture of a wall. So I'm going to go find a brick wall picture. And another way to add more meaning to it is actually find a picture of a brick wall that has maybe some sort of special relationship to the issue that you're talking about. For mine, I'm just going to find more of a general picture and paste it in there. Make sure it's underneath the other layers. I'm going to transform it, edit, retransform. I'm probably going to have to resize my images so that they fit like they're painted on the wall. But I'm going to go ahead and do that. So Control-Alt-T, resize it. Control-Alt-T, resize it. Just like that. Now to make it look like it's painted on the wall, we're going to do a duplicate of each layer, and one of those duplicates is going to be multiplied and the other is going to be screened. So layer 2 is, we'll call it homeless, and we're going to duplicate that layer. So layer, duplicate layer, or Control J. One of them is going to be screened. I'm going to bring that down, and the other one is going to be multiplied. And you should be able to see through your picture a little bit to the bricks behind it. I'm going to do this to all my layers. One of them is going to be multiplied, one of them is going to be screened or lightened. Multiply, turn that down, and then, oh, the top one should always be screened, and the bottom one should always be multiplied. Now to make these look like they have been spray painted onto the walls, I'm going to get pictures of spray paint and copy and paste them into places to make them look like they've been sprayed. So I'm going to copy and paste, and I'll just select a portion. I'm going to do Control J so I get just that spray alone, and I'm going to set that to multiply. And so if I zoom in on that, I have that drip in a location, so it looks like it's been spray painted on. I got rid of the white background, so it has a white background. I got rid of that by multiplying. Now if I wanted to do that same thing, let's say coming from, if I wanted to do that same thing coming from a white area and you had white drips coming, I'll show you how to do that next. So layer, duplicate, so I'm going to take that copy and And I'm going to make it look like the white spray is coming down. So I'm going to set this to screen or lighten. And then I'm going to invert the color. So image. So instead of black on white, it's going to be white on black. I go to adjustments, invert, so that makes it white now, because it was black before. And I can have those white drips kind of dripping down like that. And then adjust the opacity until you're satisfied with the way it looks. Once you have completed your picture, go ahead up to File, Export As, and JPG to turn that in. Crank the quality all the way up and save it. Now mine says New Project, and then I would put that into Schoology. Now don't forget, as you're creating this, as you're thinking about that, think about how are the images combined to create a compelling and thought-provoking image? How did you alter or modify the images? And what are you intending to tell people through your image? So I really want to make sure that those things are complete as well, and that you'll turn that in. So this worksheet is 15 points of your final grade. The image is 35 points of your final grade. Alright, good luck designers, and I wish you the best of luck.